The drivers of the SNB Cup Series are now ready to embark in round number 2 of the playoffs in a Season 2 championship. After the road course at Watkins Glen last week, won by Braxton DeWeese, now the drivers prepare for the second round of the playoffs, race 14 on the season. And 3 words, this is Talladega, the gargantuan that is the 2.66 mile. Speed, chaos, calamity, survival, all of these words can be used to describe this facility on the quest for the ultimate word, victory. Live tonight on LSR TV, presented by Appalachian Holler Hunters, the Bone Collector 250. Good evening, I'm Wesley Outland from Florida, down. Joining me up in Spokane, Washington is Greg Rance, and in the production chair as always for live sim racing from Wichita Falls, Texas, is Charles Wooten. Greg, this is Talladega. This is the wild card compared to the crazy road course wild card we dealt with last week.
Well, I think we lost Wesley for just a moment there, but yeah, to follow up on where he was going with that, Talladega is definitely the wild card here of the SNB Cup Series playoffs. As you see Tyler Stooksbury sliding into his pit stall right there. 94 laps the distance. Now let's take a look at the track facts here presented by solidblade.com. Again, 30-minute practice, 2 laps of qualifying, 94 lap race. 30-minute practice just about wrapping up before we turn them loose for 2 laps of qualifying. Again, presented by Race On Texas. Race information, 94 laps the distance tonight. Round number 2 of the playoffs, the SNB Cup Series, is off next week because pretty much all these guys are going to be down in Daytona for Speed Weeks here with the big boys coming up next week. Hard to believe that we are just less than 2 weeks away from kicking off the season here for the Cup Series. But we got playoffs tonight. Talladega, 94 laps. You mentioned Braxton DeWeese, last week's winner at Watkins Glen. All eyes tonight. Got to be on the winner at Daytona to start the season, Joshua Altus, number 94. Got to have all eyes on him as they get ready for Talladega. He has won 2 of the 3 plate races in series history. Matthew Gilliams picked up the other one. That came here last season, Wesley.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that, and we're going to keep an eye and watch these drivers as they run in this practice session. There is mere 2 minutes remaining, and then we go into qualifying. But you look at Braxton DeWeese, you look at the momentum he has in that number 5 machine, and Greg, can he carry that going into tonight's race at Talladega, being the number 1 seed? But here's the thing, there's not eliminations to the next round 4 championship. It is accumulated by all the points at season's end. So we'll see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, no eliminations here on the line for Braxton DeWeese and company. And DeWeese, yes, he very much can keep that momentum going. He's 3rd on the charts right now in practice. But remember, this is a plate race, so this isn't very common when it comes to the rest of the racetracks as far as momentum goes. This is all about getting your car in the right place at the right time, to get ready for 94 laps, and it's all about trying to be there at the end of the race. What will we see these drivers do? Will they go with riding around in the back of the field for the first half of the race before trying to come up at the end, or will we see them go all out from the start? Very different strategies here that can be played out. Anything can and will happen. This is Talladega, and we're looking forward to it here on LSR TV. So practice just about wrapping up, about 15 seconds remaining before they take the checker flag. A lot of drivers have already pulled in. We take a look at the solidblade.com weather conditions. Look at that track temperature, 128 degrees Fahrenheit. You can fry an egg here on the racing surface at Talladega. A wind speed of just 2 miles an hour, and that is big when it comes here on a plate track, especially in qualifying. This is really going to play a role in what happens here in qualifying. That little bit of wind speed, as you saw the track temperature go down 1 degree there to 127. So it's cooling off just a smidge, but definitely going to be a long one here at Talladega. Here we see our drivers lined up. The drivers in blue, those are your drivers that are running for a championship right now, including this man, Caleb Smith, who said he really is hungry for a victory tonight in his CEM Motorsports number 12 Ford Mustang tonight.
Yeah.
Presented by Ray's Energy. The drivers in red, those are the drivers in the LSR TV best of the rest. Those are the drivers that are still alive in that. You see Robbie Helms there with the black bar. He was eliminated from the best of the rest last week at Watkins Glen, along with another driver. We'll have to confirm exactly who that was. It was Cody Fournette, who's not here tonight in the number 14, the third BAPS Racing Enterprises car. And again, no sign of Tucker Wingo either. Playoff driver Tucker Wingo, second week in a row, he's going to miss out on the playoff races. So you can pretty much, in effect now, see Tucker Wingo kiss his championship hopes goodbye by missing a second playoff race as qualifying is underway. Drivers beginning to put up their first qualifying laps now. But Wesley,
qualifying, here we go. Hopefully I made an adjustment, gentlemen. Hopefully that will be better, as I have changed internet frequencies and paid a little bit more for internet. But anyhow, here we go. Qualifying for Caleb Smith in that number 12. We'll see what he can do in that number 12 Ford. Down the back straightaway, they call him Pillsbury. And Greg, here's the thing. We only have not even a 20-car field. This should be interesting if we can keep everybody bunched up, packed up. But if we have interesting here tonight as well.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. Like you said, small car count for a Talladega race, but it's playoffs. It's what you can expect. The later on you get into the season, you start to see guys fall out here later in the races. A couple of drivers have taken time so far. Tyler Stooksbury currently on top with tight end loose off, representing his YouTube channel on the car here for the remainder of the playoffs. He also has stepped up to sponsor the replays here for the SNB Cup Series for the remainder of the playoffs. There is the man they're all chasing, Braxton DeWeese. 4 wins on the season, including Watkins Glen last week. He won on the road courses, sweeping the road courses this season. Wesley, what can he do to try to set himself up for win number 5? And it would be a big one here on the plate track.
Well, the bottom line here is Braxton DeWeese is truly the talent of the field. He has the proverbial bullseye on his chest, taking on all other comers. So the thing is this, he has to hit his marks. He has to stay out of trouble. But he also has to realize that there is still a championship that can't be lost, Brett Rentz, if he makes mistakes. Tonight has to be a flawless night. He's got to stay out of trouble if he wants to run that championship here in Season 2.
Joshua Altus didn't like something there on his qualifying lap. Did not take the green flag, so he's going to get a second shot at it here as we watch Keenan Massey, teammate to Braxton DeWeese, Tyler Stooksbury and company. And that's big for Stooksbury sitting on the pole. Remember, he does have a pole this season in that number 19, the tight end loose off Toyota, but has yet to visit victory lane here in the SNB Cup Series, as you see Altus coming back up to speed, and he's only going to get 1 lap here as he did not like something on his warm-up lap, and only getting 1 lap here at Talladega, that's going to be very costly because he's not going to be fully up to speed by the time he takes his white flag here. So Altus looks like he's going to have to start near the back. He's going to have to get all he can out of it on what would be lap 1. That's going to be the only lap that counts for him.
And now, Greg, we got to remember now, the last time that Joshua Altus from Virginia won a race, it was at the season opener 13 races ago at Daytona. This was a restrictor plate win. This is a restricted plate race here at Talladega. Could he repeat in the number 94? Here he comes through the tri-oval. Other thing you got to remember about Talladega, the start-finish line. The start-finish line is located at the end of pit road.
That start-finish line well past pit road. The only track here in NASCAR that is like that. But Altus is going to have his work cut out for him, Wesley, because he's only going to get one fast lap here on the qualifying session, and I don't foresee him getting that much out of it here. He's down on the bottom trying to get as much as he humanly can, but I think he's going to be mired near the back in his number 94 Vortex Optics Chevrolet. So if he wants to get that third career plate win and first at Talladega, the defending champion is going to have to put the work gloves on here tonight, as this is going to be the only lap that counts here for Altus. Checker flag is out, and yeah, 17th out of 17. But I will say I'm impressed. And now he goes 18th of 18 as the final car that needed to take a lap does take a lap, that being Gilliam. So Altus getting all he got out of it, but he only missed it by 3/1000ths of a second over Packard and Hardison. So guys say I'm impressed with what he was able to do there, as now the rest of the field just waits on Matthew Gilliams here in the number 28, the Darlington winner this season, to get himself into the playoffs to finish his qualifying effort. Wesley, last time the series was at Talladega, it was this young man, Matthew Gilliams, that put it in victory lane.
That's right. We'll see what Matthew Gilliams can do now in the number 28 machine. Could history repeat itself for the driver of that number 28, the flaming number 28? Here he comes, the final car. Ironically, Greg, all drivers take time to qualify. Normally, they don't.
And that's just the thing with 18 cars in the field, as Gilliams goes a 51.457. I'm surprised, Wesley. Normally you see the second lap usually be the quickest one. For Gilliams, it was his first lap that was quicker, so a little bit of a surprise there. Normally you just come to expect that the second lap is going to be the quick lap, but that's not the case for Gilliams this time around. He puts it 10th, still a top 10 for that number 28. But all 18 drivers in the session have posted the time, so we should be able to move on to the grid fairly quickly here. Braxton Deweese going to get the pole here tonight at 51.386. Tyler Stooksbury makes it an all high five here on the front row before we find Matt Dyer and Ross Tatum. Jack Ely rounds out the top five.
So there we go, qualifying in the books. They are gridding. They are gridding. The ComServe Wireless starting lineup is about to be unveiled for race number 2 of the playoffs here. This is Talladega. These drivers ready to go for 250 miles, 94 laps the distance. The ComServe Wireless starting lineup on the pole. Braxton Deweese, number 15. It's entry to the outside. Stooksbury in the 19. Row number 2 will find Matt Dyer from California in the number 88 machine, the Rogaine car. To his outside, Ross the Boss Tatum. Some bad luck the last couple of weeks, Greg. He could possibly turn it around. He's in the 1. He'll start 4th.
Jack Ely going to roll off in the number 54, rounding out the top 5. And then a unique look for Evan Coleman here in the number 51. It's got the rowdy energy on board, but that, Wesley, on the number 51, wait till you see it. It's a throwback to Kyle Busch's Cup debut in the CarQuest colors. That's an awesome looking ride for Coleman. He starts in 6th. Robbie Helms was eliminated from the best of the rest competition last week, but still looking for a win. Pillsbury Jacob Grant starts 8th.
Row number 5, top 10. Phil begins to roll behind the base car. Christian Garner in the number 7. Pretty dismal season for him. Could he turn it around tonight? And the most recent Talladega winner, Matthew Gilliams at 28. That's your top 10. Row number 6 will find Zach Peterson in the 96. To the outside, it's Pillsbury. Caleb Smith in the 12. He'll start 12th.
Pulling rolling off in lucky 13. The family number here in the Rents household is Cody Terry in the number 22, with Keenan Massey rolling off in the 14th position. Rob Sherwood starts 29th, winner at Michigan, with Spencer Hardison, 3-time winner on the season, 16th. Just one more row, so we'll finish it off real quick. It's the Shadow Racing entry tight end loose off YouTube channel on board. Brockton Packard in the 24. Joshua Altus, defending series champion, shotgun on the field in 18th. 18 cars going 94 laps here at Talladega.
So that is the lineup, ladies and gentlemen. We are set to go for this race. It will be 250 miles. 94 laps here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Greg, we're working turn number 3, just about a mile and a half to the green flag as they pass the Sunoco Tower in turn 3. What type of race are we going to see here, do you think, with a small pack of traffic, a half fuel tank, and the opportunity to have to pit between 17 to 20 laps in a 94-lap contest?
Gonna be wicked here, Wesley, and unpredictable, because like we've said time and time again here already, this is Talladega, and it's going to be one of the most unpredictable and exciting races of the season here for the SNB Cup Series. We all remember what happened last time the series was at a plate track. We get to do it again here tonight. The iRacing Ford Mustang pace car is in field in the hands of the 4-time winner Braxton Deweese. Wesley, here we go.
Ready for race 14 of the season. Race 2 in the playoffs. Here they come. They're going to need a week off after this one. That's why they're off. Here they come to the restart box. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Talladega. They come to speed. Green in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. On the bottom of the racetrack, it's Braxton Deweese. He'll have Matt Dyer go to the inside. Ely is there. Meanwhile, outside lane shuffled to the back. It's Stooksbury hung out on the outside, already drafting off of turn 2 on the opening lap, Greg.
Not surprised to see the inside lane be the one that goes on the initial start, but this is where I think the outside lane is going to have an advantage. Down the back straightaway, they're able to carry a little bit more momentum, and look at Stooksbury already getting back alongside of Ely, trying to get even there with Dyer. He's hooked up with, I believe that's Ross Tatum there in the number 1. Yes, it is, sporting the Coca-Cola entry once again. Look at that 51 car behind him. I am in love with that paint scheme. That Kyle Busch throwback to his Cup debut on board of Coleman. Right there. That is awesome. I love the mesh of eras from Busch's Cup debut in the CarQuest car for Hendrick to his current stint with Rowdy Energy. That is a beautiful race car.
And here they come already. 1 lap in. Deweese is on the inside. He's out in front. Dyer battling for second alongside Stooksbury. By the way, the Tight End Loose Off podcast will be a proud sponsor of our replays. Find out more details on YouTube. As Deweese brings them down to the inside. Stooksbury up on the outside lane. Tatum, Dyer, Ely, all in that mix. They'll all play nice for the time being. For the time being is a big word, Greg. We're in the opening go. 2 laps in this time by.
Yeah, 2 laps in. Deweese on the inside, trying to hold off his teammate Tyler Stooksbury, who's hooked up again on the outside with Ross Tatum in the number 1. 2 playoff drivers and one guy fighting for the best of the rest right now. Matt Dyer also in that book with Stooksbury fighting for the best of the rest. And Dyer, he's been so close so many times for that victory here this season. Gonna come tonight at Talladega. Talladega's known for producing first-time winners over the years, both of their careers and of the season. Dyer can very well fall into that category tonight, grabbing his first of the season.
So here they come. Back up into turns number 1 and 2. The outside lane will open up. That's going to be Deweese on the inside. He still leads the way. Greg, here's something to think about. Braxton Deweese looking for his 5th points win, 6th if you count the All-Star race, and in addition to that, 3 wins in a row. Indianapolis, the final race of the season. Race 1 of the playoffs last week at Watkins Glen. And could he do it here at Talladega? He's been the man out in front of the 15 in the early going.
No doubt he wants to bring Burnett up into the SNB Cup Series with a victory tonight, but he's got to fend off a challenge from his teammate Tyler Stooksbury. Remember, he's got the Tight End Loose Off YouTube channel on board his car as well. Brockton Packard, nice to see Packard stepping up and supporting his good pal Tyler Stooksbury. They've raced together in 2 different series here on All-Star TV, so Packard stepping up the support with that one. Again, you can check out Tight End Loose Off on YouTube. That's the official YouTube channel of Tyler Stooksbury that has some great content on there, Wesley. I don't know if you've actually checked it out yet, but it is awesome. I'm proud to be subscribed to that one of my favorite growing NASCAR YouTube channels on the server right now. And speaking of YouTube channels, the series is presented, of course, by Appalachian Holler Hunters. Their newest episode is also available on YouTube now, so make sure you head over to the Appalachian Holler Hunters YouTube channel and check them out.
Into 3, DeWeese on the inside. Dyer, Stooksbury, Ely, Tatum. 1 through 5 right now. Opening laps continue here at Talladega. Remember the pit window between 17 to 20 laps. 50% fuel capacity. 5 sets of tires. So they know, Greg, they're gonna have to pit. Question is, will it be under the yellow flag? Or will it be during green flag pit stops?
Oh, we almost saw a yellow flag right there. Joshua Altus trying to get up there in front of Peterson in the 96 came very, very close to getting together with him there. They straighten it out now on the backstretch. But coming across the finish line, that last time I thought we were about to see our first tight end loose off caution replay of the day, but Altus was able to hold on. Matt Dyer out to the lead now in the number 88. Got DeWeese behind him, taking a peek to the outside. And this is big up front because this is going to allow DeWeese to finally get hooked up with his teammate up there. And that's exactly what he did, getting hooked up there with Tyler Stooksbury. Meanwhile, the CEM guys, still got to try to fight their way through. Coleman and Smith are hooked up there as well. They got Hardison up there as DeWeese and Stooksbury. That's the power of having your teammate behind you. Both the high 5 drivers able to get around the CEM boy, as now Ross Tatum leading the way.
That's right. Here comes Ross the Boss Tatum. He's ready to redeem himself from his problems earlier now, as they're about to stick it 2 and 3 wide down the back straightaway into 3. A little car makes a move for a moment in the back of the pack. That's Hardison. He still hung out to dry, lost the pack, and losing more ground. While that goes on, DeWeese roars him off turn 4, back around Stooksbury for the lead. Stooksbury back to second. Tatum, who had 1 shot in the kick of the pants of leading, falls back to 3rd. Grant, Dyer, top 5. 2 rows brewing, now possibly 3 wide behind them in the back. Thought better of it. Now they're 2 by 2 like Noah leading the animals to the arc up the high banks out of 2 at Talladega.
Up at the tail end of this field at the caboose, Spencer Hardison caught a break because he was about to lose touch with that draft. He was on the outside and was too far back to catch on to Packard. Fortunately for him, Rob Sherwood made a move up to the outside to try to draft with Packard. That gave Hardison just enough of a draft to be able to hang on, draft himself back up, and now try to get hooked up again on the bottom. So Hardison catches a break. All 18 cars still in the draft. But Hardison, again, he is bringing up the tail right now, and he's kind of lagging back just a little bit, but now still able to hold on to the draft to make his way through. Boy, one car having big connection issues there. That was Matt Gilliams in the number 28. Problems also now for Keenan Massey in that department as well. So fortunately, they're near the back. It won't affect too much right now. But side by side for the race lead, Ross Tatum led that lap in the Coca-Cola entry, and now he wants a shot at the lead. He's hooked up with Pillsbury Jacob Grant, who, remember, he's still looking for that first victory of the season in car number 52, renumbered from 5 earlier this season. He's hooked up now on the outside, but DeWeese able to get the nose back in front.
1 minute the inside lane works for DeWeese. 1 minute the outside lane works for Tatum. Stooksbury, don't count him out. He's also in that battle, and so is Dyer. Could this be an opportunity for the 88 to also show his mustard momentum, the man out of California? He powers to the outside. Tatum back goes to the lead. Tatum, DeWeese, these guys battle for position, and it continues. One car deciding to go way, way up the top of the hill, up the top of the banking there, trying to make a move. I want to say that's
Peterson.
Is that Dyer?
Zach
That's
Peterson. Zach Peterson.
Zachary Peterson. Holy cow. This could be an opportunity for Zachary to pull himself in the spotlight. The 96 Greg has struggled many races. He's trying to find a new lane on the outside. I mean, he got in the wall.
The problem there, as he got close to the wall, I don't think he got the wall, but he got dang close. But the problem there was no one went with him, so he fell like a rock to the back of the pack there. He's going to have to try to tack on with Keenan Massey. Maybe he's going to be able to pick up Hardison here, and it looks like that is what Spencer Hardison might be thinking about doing, is going up there with Peterson to ensure that they don't lose the draft. Now Gilliams is trying that high line up there towards the wall as the inside lane continues to work its magic. Braxton Deweese has gotten back out to the lead, and he is hooked up now with another teammate here in Jacob Grant. And now look at this on the inside lane. Stooksbury has gotten up to the bumper of Grant as well. 3 high five boys in a row on the bottom.
And while that goes on, they'll work their way back into turn number 3. You're riding on board now with the loose end tied off of Tyler Stooksbury. You'd like to know more information, find it on YouTube. He is currently in the 3rd position. That is Jacob Grant in front of him to the outside lane now. Now he's got a trunk full of Braxton Deweese in front of his now driver window to the inside. Back to the start-finish line. We're 10 in, working lap 11, and they roar back to speed in turn 1.
Keep the 24. Brockton Packard started 17th, final row on the inside at the start of this race. He's made his way into the top 10 now. The other tight end loose off entry on board here still was Stooksbury, the founder of that YouTube channel, but I am impressed with what Brockton Packard has been able to do here. Packard said before the race he thought this was his chance to make some noise as well. As you see right here, the high five boys battling out. This is on board with Packard. Always pays tribute to Jeff Gordon, running different Jeff Gordon schemes every single weekend. But the last couple of races, he seems to have picked up some support from tight end loose off with Tyler Stooksbury. So Brockton Packard of Shadow Racing trying to get up there and make some noise in this one. He's currently 5th in line on the outside, going to fall outside of the top 10 this lap. No, still holds on to the 10th position. Look out, Altus tries to go, and we're going to go 4 wide through turn 1 and 2. And it's going to work, and the big loser is going to be Coleman.
3 wide, 4 wide, thought better of it. Nope, not there. Back straight away. Little wiggle there for a moment. Tatum gets pushed out of the line. Altus now beginning to make a charge up. And while that goes on, Deweese to the inside. Deweese, Stooksbury. Look at now, Grant, Altus, they all battle inside the top 5. Good racing, still a long way to go. 13 of 94. No one out of line yet. And Greg, green flag pit stops are looming also.
Coming up in about 5 laps or so. We said that Joshua Altus was going to have to put the work gloves on to get up there, and I think we just lost Jacob Grant. I think Jacob Grant connection issues on the number 52 as he was leading that outside lane, and he is gone going into turn number 1, and he's keying up, and this looks like that's exactly what happened. Looks like Jacob Grant connection issues might have ended his day early in that number 52. That's going to be big. He doesn't make it back in. Oh, he made it back in, but he is at the tail end of the field, and he has lost the draft in the number 52. That blink right there dropped him all the way to the tail end of the field, was running up front for the lead, now is bringing up 18th position, trying to hold on to the draft with Hardison and Coleman to try to make some noise back up there, and he's going to be able to tag back on. So Grant catches a break, but that big blink right there cost him from racing for the lead. Now he's at the bottom of the charts as Altus has broken through for the lead. He's got Jack Ely with him.
Back straight away into 3. Altus up the outside. Deweese in that mix. He's on the outside lane. Here he comes. Ely is there. 1, 2, and 3. They'll try to stick it out 3 wide. Ely up the racetrack. There's contact. Hold on.
There we go.
Spinning, crashing into the wall.
Oh, we got another one up front. Altus and Smith.
Ely, Altus, Tatum. Oh my goodness, Greg.
There's more contact after the fact. We have our first tight end loose off replay, and this started up near the front, getting ready for green flag pit stops. We were about 2 laps out Watch the 54, the 94, and the 12. Right here, this is where it started, right there. There's the initial contact. They break out. Tatum gets into the 54 of Ely. That's the first incident. Now, let's go back and pick up the 94 of Altus because there was contact after the fact. More contact between him and Smith, and Altus spun down to the bottom as well. Keep your eyes now on the driver out in front, the number 94 of Altus. So you see Ely get the run right there. Here comes the initial contact from Smith right there. Altus makes the save. You see the incident break out. Now watch what happens here. Coming through the tri-oval right there. Another batch of contact. There goes Altus, and he hangs on to it. Amazing driving by Altus, but unfortunately, we're under caution for the first time.
And this was after, correction, excuse me, all the calamity that we saw in the tri-oval. They're coming to pit road, Greg. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's time for them to pit. They're all going to come down to the pit lane, led by Deweese.
Deweese coming down in the number 15. Lead.
All right, we got pit stops underway. And you see some of these drivers, Altus, Brockton Packard, Spencer Hardison, all of them on the pit lane. I think we lost Greg Rentz. We have lost Greg. Hopefully he'll be back in just a moment. But pit stops are underway. Stooksbury is in. Dyer is in. All making pit stops. And they will cycle back around. And look at the race off pit road. Obviously, Deweese in first, out first. But a strong run for the number 15. That's what he needs to do to go for a championship. Tyler Stooksbury right there behind him. And everyone else will follow. First caution here at Talladega for the SNB Cup Series. More of the Bone Collector 250 when we return on LSR TV, your home for sim racing here at Virtual Talladega.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold to where we, you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customers. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing. And if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees at yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Deadly Dust from Big & J Long Range Attractors. Deadly Dust is a true hybrid sweet corn, over 50% sweet corn. Deadly Dust has a very powerful aroma and the sweet, sweet taste of whitetails love and crave. Add Deadly Dust to your field corn or use it on its own, but ultimately Deadly Dust will increase your success rate in the woods. Deadly Dust from Big & J Long Range Attractors.
Back here at Talladega Super Speedway, lights are off on the pace car. We will get ready for the restart where, Greg, we had a multi-car accident in the tri-oval and some pretty good contenders caught up in it. But here's the thing, we still got a lot of racing left to go here at Talladega.
Yeah, we are not even a quarter of the way into this race, Wesley, so things are going to get dicey here in this one before they settle down even more. So with that said, let's reset the field. The only driver one lap down is Ross Tatum in the number 1. So he's going to be relying on another caution coming out quickly, getting himself back on the lead lap. And he's a playoff driver in the number 1. So he's going to be starting at the tail end of the field. Noticing a lot of drivers lining up on the bottom. That's because of the way we had drivers coming down pit road for extra service. They all got end of longest line penalties there. So only a few rows deep here on the start, led by Braxton DeWeese in the 15, Tyler Stooksbury to his outside, Matt Dyer, Rob Sherwood, Robbie Helms, your top 5. And again, the big benefactor in this one, Jacob Grant in the number 52, going to roll off 8th after having that big connection issue. We're back underway here at Talladega.
Back for the restart as they come up to speed. DeWeese and Stooksbury, Sherwood, Dyer, Gilliams now in the top 5. They work way up to turn number 2. Greg, I have to say, rather impressed with the drive that Tyler Stooksbury has had, not just today in the early going at Talladega, but also in the most recent couple of weeks for the 19.
Yeah, the 19 of Stooksbury has really run strong here in the last couple of weeks. And think back to that pole he got at New Hampshire. That was when we knew that Stooksbury had come to play this season. Hasn't gotten that win yet, but a few front row starts, including that pole at Talladega, followed it up with another front row start the next week. And then here tonight, getting on the front row as well. So Stooksbury's had a lot of qualifying speed in the 19, but just hasn't been able to break through for that win yet. But Talladega is always the wild card. He's hooked up with Dyer now on the outside. Helms leading the way on the bottom. Or the third line on the bottom, excuse me.
Yeah, DeWeese continuing to hold that line as they work their way to the back straightaway. And now DeWeese and Stooksbury continue to flip-flop for 1 and 2. And look at Jacob Grant, Greg. Had some issues earlier, and now he's right back in the dogfight, battling for 3rd, now 2nd. Now the lead on DeWeese as they come through the tri-oval out of turn 4.
Reese has been so strong on the bottom, and the big part here is he's hooked up with a teammate. He's got Jacob Grant behind him in the number 52. Stooksbury, another teammate on the outside. The 4th driver for High Five, Keenan Massey, hanging back in 11th right now. As a couple of drivers have lost the draft, those being Packard and Gardner and Ely, and this is mainly because Brockton Packard in the number 24 has a lot of damage still on the nose of that 24 car, so he's not able to hold on to the draft as much. So his only shot would be to try to lead the draft, but unfortunately with that nose damage, that's going to slow him down a lot. He's going to need to think about the fast repair if we can get another quick caution here. Otherwise, this is going to be a long 17-lap stint before he can come onto pit road. Going to the extreme outside. Who we got up there on top? That is Dyer in the 88, and it's not going to work out. He's going to get shuffled.
Yeah, and for a second, they were a little wigwam there sideways, a little wiggle and a giggle and a jiggle and a bobble, as I always say, off the corner. And what a save by Dyer to hold it. And now they're going to start to fan back. Starting to see one car blinking again. I think it might be Grant. No, it's not Grant. He's still in the numbered spot. I believe it's Helms, possibly. Helms.
Could be Gilliams.
Might be
Matthew
blinking. Gilliams in 28, maybe? Yeah.
Gilliams has been having problems with blinking here tonight. I believe it would be that orange and black number 28 up on the top, 2nd in line on the outside. He's been having the issues throughout the course of the day. Yeah, 3 wide here. DeWeese trying to make the move up the middle to hold on. Sherwood, the winner at Michigan, trying to get a run up there on the outside. Look at this camera angle on board with Braxton DeWeese, who's going to lead the lap. And look at them jockeying for position up here at the front, trying to settle things down.
And there's the tight end loose off entry of Tyler Stooksbury. By the way, you can go to YouTube if you want to get more information about his show weekly, as Deweese has a whole trunk full of Stooksbury behind him. And there is a big gaggle of cars behind him. Is behind Stooksbury is Altus and Grant and Sherwood. And they're working their way up out of turn number 3 and 4.
Trying to just hold on to it right now as they race down towards the tri-oval. Braxton Deweese leading the way. Through tri-oval, coming to complete lap number 23, begin lap 24. Deweese has been trading the lead back and forth with his teammates. Ross Tatum took a turn up front. Matt Dyer led a couple of laps. So we've had a whole bunch of different leaders here thus far today, but now we're seeing things settle down, and especially with the high five 1, 2, 3 right now, you know they're going to be content to just try to hold on to that for as long as humanly possible. But Altus might have something to say about that in the 94 as well. Robbie Helms, the 18, and Altus is going to go and pick up Smith instead in the number 12. We know these two are very strong on the season. Altus winner at Daytona, Smith winner at Dover. So both drivers with a win. They want to get up there and try to build some momentum going into an off week, because most of these guys, Wesley, are going to be down at Daytona for speed weeks, as these guys have jobs in the NASCAR garage.
That's right. I made the trip down to Florida this morning. I'll be at Daytona on Tuesday for the Busch Clash and the ARCA race on Saturday before making the trip down to Miami. As Deweese is currently right in that number 15, leading the way. Stooksbury, the number 2 spot. Altus third. Grant fourth. Smith is fifth. Helms, Sherwood, Massey, Gilliams, Dyer. Top 10. Altus pushed out of line, and you see him falling back. He's got a tuck-in line behind the car of Grant. He'll push him back to fourth.
Now going to try to pick up Smith once again, who's got Sherwood behind him. Keenan Massey, the 4th high five car. This is big. Look at him, 5th in line there on the bottom. If he can find a way around Robbie Helms, you're going to have all 4 high five drivers right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. If they can get up there, and Massey can get around Helms. Spencer Hardison also beginning to make his way up into the mix as well after hanging out of the back for the first run there. 0.3 of a second behind him is his teammate Evan Coleman, and then about 6 seconds back of this, you find that second line. Ross Tatum and Brockton Packard Shadow Racing leading that group with Christian Gardner and Zach Peterson. Jack Ely has lost the draft with the damage to his car. He is 30 seconds off the pace right now, and he's just trying to hold on and hope for a caution before he goes a lap down.
And mind you also, Greg, we still have over 70 laps to go, or under 70 laps to go now as they cross the start-finish line. 25 laps in, working now lap number 26. And Deweese is still hugging the bottom of the racetrack. Stooksbury there. So is Grant, Altus, Smith, all in a pack, all together. At speed, going to 3.
Turn 3, 4 coming up. He's still leading. Trying to keep his teammates back there. Stooksbury notice him peeking out there on the inside to try to keep that nose clean. We talked about this a little bit on Sunday morning when we were broadcasting the Straight Cash Money finale, how if you ride behind the guy for too long, your engine temp can start to get hot and you can begin to overheat. So drivers will try to peek their nose out to keep the temperatures cool. That's what Stooksbury is doing right now in the 19. He doesn't necessarily want to pass his teammate yet. He just wants to try to keep that motor cool, and that's why you're seeing him poke his nose out here and there. Smith leading the charge on the outside right now as Altus has fallen in behind Grant. So now Caleb Smith leading the way on the outside with help from Sherwood, and I believe that is Cody Terry in the 22.
Cody Terry. Keep an eye on him. He has cracked the top end. He's had a pretty dismal season in Season 2 for the SNB Cup Series. And they'll settle themselves back in. Cross start finish with Deweese on the inside. Stooksbury breaking out of line is Altus. He'll make something work to the outside. He got pushed way, way high He'll carry some cars with him, and they'll go 3 wide off of turn 2, while everybody else hugs the bottom of the back straightaway.
Big loser in that one was Caleb Smith in the 12, as he's going to get shuffled back nearly outside of the top 10. And lap traffic is beginning to fill these guys' windshield, Wesley, because they're about to catch Jack Ely in the number 54. And remember the disaster that Ely had 2 weeks ago in the cutoff race, where his connection dropped on lap number 1. And unfortunately was up running near the front here at Talladega before having issues there under that first caution. Now he's in danger of going a lap down. And the guy that does not want to see that is Ross Tatum in the number 1, because Tatum's the only driver that is currently a lap down, and he wants to just try to hold on and get the lucky dog, but he knows that if they can get around Ely, Ely's going to inherit that position.
We've only had that one caution flag, and that's been it, with a multi-car accident in the tri-oval. And several of those contenders right back in the thick of things again as they work their way to 3. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Working up the banks out of 3 and 4. Altus still trying to make something work on the outside lane for 2nd and 3rd. Stooksbury under the bottom of DeWeese on the inside. And here they come. Back to the stripe, put now 30 laps in, 64 to go at Talladega, and still a long way to go as they go back to turn 1, DeWeese on the bottom.
Altus had some connection issues there coming down to the finish line, but they seem to have stabilized out for now. And I'm wondering if maybe some of these guys are experiencing some winter weather, because I know the northeastern seaboard got kind of hit with a big winter storm over the weekend. Wondering if we're still seeing trickle effects of the heavy winter weather over there on the East Coast here, playing a role in this race, Wesley, because we've seen that quite a bit, not just as far as the drivers go, but us here in the production team on LSR TV. We've been hit with some winter weather problems over the last few weeks as well.
We certainly have. As we will continue to monitor that, we'll keep you up to date. As right now, DeWeese, no problems for him. He still stays on in front there, Stooksbury. And that is riding on board with the front of Grant's car. Now back to our camera angle off 2 to the back straightaway. And Stooksbury thought about going below that line for a second. Then he tucked back in. Grant's right behind him in the outside lane now. Look at Cody Terry, Greg, in the 22. He is moved up behind Altus, and he's battling for 4th and 5th as they hit their way out of turn number 4.
Terry second in line on the outside right now. That red number 22 having the best run of the season he has had thus far. Ooh, trying to get down underneath Altus there to keep the nose cool, and almost gotten to Stooksbury. Here's we're just past a third of the way through this one. Here, Wesley, working lap number 33, 94 the scheduled distance. Here's, I think that's not including any overtime that we may see, as Altus tries to get a run on the outside. And this is where the outside lane pays its dividends, is down this long back straightaway. If you can get a run, you might have a shot, and it looks like that's what Altus and Terry were able to do. They are gonna clear DeWeese going off into turn number 3, but ooh, Terry, he had to check up just a little bit, was not quite clear. It didn't make contact, but DeWeese and company had to check up there, and that almost bottlenecked the field, but they all are able to keep it going. Altus is going to inherit the race lead now, but Braxton DeWeese has something to say about it in 3rd.
New leader at the stripe. Daytona winner Joshua Altus. And that 94 Stooksbury now falling back to 4th. Look at Cody Terry. He is up now to the number 2 position. Looking inside, looking outside. No wins this year for him. But watch that 22 as he is closing in on Altus for the lead. Behind them is DeWeese, 1, 2, and 3, single file. They'll exit off turn 4.
Car break, and here we go, Wesley. Pit stops for the first time. Team High Five coming down. High Five Racing. First round of green flag pit stops on pit road now, and it's High Five Racing's 4 entries.
Well, we wondered when there was going to be some green flag pit stops, and they're happening here on lap number 35. DeWeese is in, Stooksbury is in, Grant Packard, Tatum, Ely, all on the pit lane.
Sounds like most of the rest of the field coming this time to the pit. Everyone in a single file line on the bottom as they come off of turn number 4. High Five Racing getting ready to roll off now. Here comes about half of the field once again. Looks like everyone but CEM staying out, so this will be MP Motorsports coming down pit road. Ross Tatum and Brockton Packard also came in for Shadow Racing. So now this just leaves the CEM drivers as 1, 2, 3, 4 as the field comes in. You see Alta still having those connection issues in that number 94. But just 4 cars left to take a pit stop. It's Smith, Dyer, Hardison, Coleman in that order. They're working their way down the backstretch right now as you see the MP Motorsports guys getting rolling. Hey, I'm hearing DeWeese and Stooksbury both got penalties on pit road, likely for speeding, as here comes CEM down pit road as well. So this will complete the round of pit stops, and 2 of the fastest cars in town, DeWeese and Stooksbury, penalties on pit road as CEM comes in.
That's a tough break there for Braxton DeWeese, especially being the number 1 seed, the bullseye, the points leader here in the Bone Collector 250. And suffering a penalty, and this is going to hurt him as well as Tyler Stooksbury. Going to put him back a lap down, maybe more. Coleman off pit lane in the 51. So is Matt Dyer. Matt Dyer came in as the leader. He'll exit as the leader in the 88 car, Greg.
Was able
Coleman
to get
behind him for second.
He was able to get the lead away from Caleb Smith coming down pit road because Smith was leading the way, but when they came down pit road, Dyer stayed in the gas just a little bit longer before making the cut down to allow himself to get the lead, then make his move on the pit road, so he would be in position to lead off of pit road, which he was able to. So a little bit of teamwork there to try to get Dyer up to the front. Looks like it worked out. We'll see how it all cycles through when it's all said and done here. I think, looking at it, it's going to be close because here comes the pack led by Keenan Massey and Jacob Grant trying to breathe down. I think Dyer and Coleman are going to be able to hold on to the top 2 for now.
And here they come through the tri-oval. 1 and 2, Dyer, Coleman. Cross the line, back to turn 1. And there they are, the leaders, 1 and 2, single file. And back in third is Massey, almost in unison with Grant right there. That's third, fourth, and fifth, and so on. And that was the thing, Greg, I was telling you I was worried about when we see these cycle of green flag pit stops, and then you see everybody pit in different sequences, how it's going to bundle up and jumble the running order, and of course also the distance between everybody on the track.
Meanwhile, DeWeese and Stooksbury were able to get back on the lead lap, but they are 39 seconds back. Now, they have a little bit of help with Gilliams right now, and with the pack being racy up here, which they are doing as the second pack is really beginning to fan out again as Altus, Terry, and Sherwood go to the outside here. This is going to allow DeWeese and Stooksbury to try to close it in a little bit more. They're going into turn 3 now. Our leaders just came off the backstretch, but with them fanned out like this, as you see them 3 wide going for the lead, this is going to allow those 2 drivers, 3 counting Gilliams, to try to make their way back up there. And the longer it stays like this, the more ground they're going to gain. CEM hooked up 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. You got High Five in the middle, MP up top. And MPs looks like they're going to fall in line behind High Five for now. This is awesome racing up here at the front.
Yeah, what a pack of traffic as they cross the line again. Dyer in that 88 machine still leading the way, but here comes the pack of hungry wolves chomping him back up on the outside lane. Look at Massey with a good run for him in the 4 car. Coleman, Grant, all strong. Almost a 9-car pack right there to the back straightaway into turn number 3 as we approach 50 laps.
halfway is going to be lap number 46. When they cross the line here, they will be 6 laps from halfway in this race.
That's right. Back across. Another lap. As Massey.
Checking in with
Now
that.
he'll go to the lead. Look at Massey, Greg. The Ford car down to the inside. He'll go to the top spot.
Massey trying
Grant
to
to
get
the outside. Door to door
Massey.
for the lead.
Massey trying to get the lead, checking in with that other group of Deweese, Stooksbury, Gilliams, and now Jack Ely, who took the fast repair, but he's 2 laps down. They are running about an average of half a second quicker than these guys right now in the packs. So that's allowing them to try to shave off as much as they can with this battle continuing there, as they're able to shave another half a second off that time by. But they're going to need more luck and another caution to really be able to get up there. But at this moment, they're running about half a second quicker.
Now, if the caution was to come out, Ross Tatum would get free pass because he is the first car 1 lap down in the Coca-Cola number 1. Ross the Boss Tatum. Currently, right now, 16th of 18 starters. All cars on the racetrack except Jack Ely, 2 laps down. Gardner and Tatum 1 lap down. And there's the battle for the lead with Grant out in front. How about it for Pillsbury leading the way? Altus, the Daytona winner, in second. He has not won since week 1 at Daytona, Greg. And that was a super speedway event. Could he win this super speedway playoff race and begin his climb to run down Braxton Deweese for the championship?
Just barely led that lap in the 94. Cody Terry there in the 22 on the outside lane. Now leading that outside lane as Dyer goes up way high. And wondering what his teammates are going to do back there as Dyer's going to lose some momentum. And look at Coleman kind of hanging back there, leading that 3-car CEM train there at the bottom. I'm wondering if Coleman's leaving just enough room for Dyer to fall in if he falls back, which he does. And yes, that's exactly what they do. Nice teamwork here by CEM to hang on and keep themselves up here at the front.
Nice pack, nice group right there. 1 caution to stops race after a multi-car accident before lap 20. Altus, Terry, Greg, I am so impressed with drive Cody Terry is having tonight in the 22 car. He's in second.
Very nice run for Cody Terry. Much needed after the way his season has gone. Still alive in that LSR TV Best of the Rest as well. Remember, we're eliminating 2 drivers from that here tonight. Altus leads. Grant trying to get the lead back on the outside. Cody Terry second in line on the outside. We were talking about that red 22. Hooked up there with Keenan Massey. Ooh, another big blink out of Massey there in the 4. Several drivers again with the connection issues today. As Dyer's trying that outside lane by himself again.
3 wide. Well, that goes on. Battle for the lead. Grant and Altus.
I'm impressed that Dyer is able to make the outside lane work that well to be able to gain a spot on Massey there.
Move him to 5th. Back straightaway into 3. Inside, there's Altus. Grant's there. Stooksbury. Again. My correction, that's Terry. Cody Terry, you're riding on board with Grant right now. Pillsbury battling Altus on the outside for the lead. He's on his inside. Grant back to the lead. You're on board with the leader on lap number 46. Halfway next time by.
Working the halfway lap here. Sherwood up to second in the number 29 as he's able to clear with Grant. They're going to bring it down. Now the only car on the outside there is Hardison. This is not the news that Deweese and Stooksbury wanted to hear because they have finally settled it down up front. And with that, there's more cars in the draft. That's going to allow them to try to shave it all off. But they have a little bit more help now back there as Gardner and Packard have also been reeled in by these guys. So They now have a 5-car train as Helms is trying to hold on to the caboose of that, but they are slowly beginning to lose that ground that they have been chipping away at. But now it's getting dicey up front again as Rob Sherwood wants to lead this race.
Back up the outside lane for that matter. Look, Sherwood. Halfway, Greg. And Sherwood now the leader. Altus second. Terry, Grant, Massey, Dyer. Here's something to think about. Drivers in blue on the scoring ticker have won races. They're in the playoffs for the championship. Drivers in red are a part of the LSR TV Best of the Rest. They have not won races, Greg. They are doing everything they can, and I find it impressive that in the top 6, 4 out of the 6 drivers are all in red, trying to look for their first win on the SNB Cup Series tonight at Talladega.
Talladega is the wild card. It can happen anywhere. It can happen at Dega. And we've seen it live up to it thus far. As again, 4 drivers in your top 6 right now have yet to visit victory lane. And you got a playoff driver up there as well, Evan Coleman, who did not visit victory lane yet this season in 7th. So another one in that mix of drivers who have not won a race. Coleman falls in line with that in car number 51 because he was able to race his way in on points.
And all of these drivers will prepare for a week off next week as they prepare for speed weeks at Daytona, leading up to the 63rd running of the Great American Race on Valentine's Day next Sunday. And then they'll come back for a race at Bristol, the finale for Season 2 of the SNB Cup Series, presented by Appalachian Holler Hunters, will be in virtual Charles World at No Limits, Texas Motor Speedway for the championship. Greg, you've had a road course. You've got the super speedway tonight with the Bone Collector 250, short track at Bristol, intermediate track at Texas.
So 4 very, very different styles of racing for the playoffs. And I really like that structure, Wesley. You have the 4 different types of track that you can go to here in these Cup style cars. You started off with the road course, and it's a growing movement here in the real world. We are going to see 6 road course races this year with the big boys on Sundays. 6 road courses this year. That's an all-time record for the Cup Series. Now, plate racing. You see 4 of those a year, Daytona and Talladega. Next week, short track. There's another big growing movement for short tracks, and hearing that short track here could be growing as well in the Cup Series in the future. We're hopeful to hear more on a couple of short tracks possibly returning. Then you've got the meat and potatoes of the season. You've got the intermediate track, Texas, 1.5 miles. The staple of NASCAR right now is those tracks, and they are going to round out the championships. So 4 different styles of racing, 4 types of racing you see in these Cup cars, all represented in the playoffs. Very, very nicely put together playoff schedule.
And we are after halfway, ready for this second half of the race underway here at Talladega. And the question is, we're also closing in on more green flag stops. Sherwood, Altus, Terry, Grant, Massey. Your sawblade.com top 5 right now as we are after halfway. Quick break. More from Talladega.
Nope, pit stops, Wesley.
Here comes green flag stops. Boy, I called it. Correction on that. That's fake news. Here comes cars onto the pit lane. Man, I had a feeling it was coming, Greg.
There they come. That's high 5 on pit road once again, all working together. DeWeese, Stukesbury there. Saw Grant and Massey come down as well. Robbie Helms also came down, and now Zach Peterson on pit road, along with Shadow Racing there, Ross Tatum and Brockton Packard. So much like the last round of pit stops, this is the first group to come down. Question is, MP and CEM still out there? Do they try it again?
Grant, Massey, Peterson, Packard. Tewksbury, Tatum, Helms, all on the pit lane. Here comes the next group on the pit lane. Here comes Altis. Oh, you got to lock him up, Greg. Oh, you see him lock up the tires. They were smoking.
That's good, though, that he does it now because he's going to get those tires off the car. This is going to be their third set of tires that they are using here tonight, Wesley. Now, that's big because they have 5 sets of tires available on pit road, plus the set that they started on. Notice what they're doing. The MP driver's going left side tires only. Interesting call.
And there goes Altis. We got to go check and make sure he didn't get busted for any kind of a penalty or anything like that. He was smoking those tires as he came down to the pit lane. And there's Matt Dyer, the new leader, along with Coleman, Smith. I don't think they've pitted yet.
Now, see, the end of this last time, these 4 drivers right here, they waited till the end of the cycle to come down. It looks like that's what they're setting up for. Again, Dyer leading the way. He's led pretty much this entire run as far as CEM goes, and that was done by Smith checking off the gas a little bit earlier to allow Dyer to get up front. It was good teamwork there. Now I'm curious to see if they do the same thing here to possibly try to get Coleman up to the front. Take a look here. They come off turn number 4, expecting them this time. Here they come. And see what Dyer did right there. That's what got him the lead of that group right there, and ultimately got him the race lead there. Was him staying up top longer than the rest of them. That was the move that got him up there.
And here they come down the pit lane. That last group we mentioned, Greg, of Dyer, Hardison, Coleman, and Smith. Sounds like a law firm. Those 4 cars stay in that pack, and they'll come to the pits. So this will likely cycle the lead back to Massey. But the question is, or Sherwood for that matter, but they're way in the back, almost 30-plus seconds back. We could see these guys do what they did the last time and pit and still come back out as the leader. Matt Dyer did it one time. He's going to go for 2 and make it work.
Makes it work. Now the question is, how long will it work?
Yeah, because there goes the pack flying by him. Those are the cars we were telling you about, of Sherwood, Altis, Terry, Massey, Grant, Dyer in that pack. He'll fall back to 6th, but he's right within the crosshairs of him, because you see that car we just showed a moment ago went below blend line to come on the track. That's Dyer. And there's the pack he's got to run down. The question is, Greg, can more cars hook up with Dyer to let him get faster to run this pack down? Because if he tries to do it by himself, he's kind of a sitting duck.
He's got to let off the throttle to get back to his teammates. First will be Caleb Smith. Hardison and Coleman have already gotten hooked up in the back there. Although, is Hardison coming down pit road again? Hardison's coming down pit road again, Wesley.
He is.
Something happened to Spencer Hardison. He may have to serve a pass-through. Spencer Hardison.
No. Lanes Contracting Incorporated, number 9. Onto the pit lane. Something for the 9 car. We're checking to see if there's a penalty. Or maybe he overshot his pit stall, Greg. He's making a pit stop.
Yeah, he's taking service. That's left side tires on the 9. 3-time winner this season. And there's a penalty involved as well, as he is sitting there much longer than it would to just get topped off on fuel and take tires. That is a penalty on Hardison right there.
Man, what a tough break. What a tough break for the driver, the number 9. And meanwhile, Sherwood, Altis, Perry, Massey, Grant, now your sawblade.com top 5 will step away, closing in on the home stretch here at Talladega. More, the Bone Collector 250 returns on LSR TV.
VTE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install VTE Reman.
Back here in Talladega, you see the saw blade top 5 and Rob Sherwood now. Overall, it's Terry, Grant, Massey. As we took a quick break, let's take a look at the weather conditions, also presented by sawblade.com. Greg, I'm going to throw you out here at this as well. Interesting. Think it's just about right. What do you think? Track temp at 129, temperature at 81.
Yeah, it's right around where we started. Remember, we qualified with 127 degree track temperature, so right around where we started. No real change there. It's gone up a degree ambient wise, up 2 degrees track temp wise, so about the same. So not really too surprised here with the way this is unfolded. Hey, we're coming up now on the final third of this race. We've got 34 laps to go, I do believe, this time by.
Yep, 34 to go when they cross the stripe. Lap 60 of 94. Actually, 35 laps to go, but 34 when they cross the line. Sherwood. Greg, what would it mean for Robert Sherwood to win this race? Especially, okay, yeah, he got a win, or he made it into the playoffs. But other than that, it's been kind of a roller coaster ride for car number 29. Turn that around here tonight with a victory.
Got that win at Michigan a few weeks ago to lock himself into the playoffs. And remember, that was a follow-up to what was a very, very strong run in Chicago, in which he came about, 30 feet from winning that race?
That's right.
So, Sherwood, ever since that run at Chicagoland, has really been strong lately. Got that win. So now, what can he do with it, with that momentum? He's led quite a few laps up here. How about Cody Terry, though, and number 22? I'm so impressed with what he's been able to do, Wesley. We've talked about him a couple of times. Here he is in second now, hooked up with Grant and Sherwood up there as Altus falls to 5th. I'm so impressed with Cody Terry. What if Cody Terry steals this victory tonight? It's Talladega. Anything can and will happen, but it is going to be gutsy for Terry to try to steal this one.
Down the back straightaway, there's Sherwood. And Terry, what an impressive run for Cody Terry as well. In that second spot, there you see him. Grant third. 1, 2, and 3. Massey, Altus top 5. Back off 4 to the straightaway. Greg, the question remains, when do teammates and friends become foes? When do you break out of line and do your own thing to try to go for the win?
Well, it depends on where you are on the racetrack right now. If you're Grant and Massey for High Five Racing, per se, you're up here in this lead group, kind of hanging out a little bit and go for it. If you're in that next group there, you've got Dyer, Coleman, and Smith. They're all teammates. They got to just stick with each other to the checkered flag here just to try to get themselves back up there. Deweese and Stooksbury and the other guys back here, they have to try to stay up there and hope for a caution, but at some point you just got to try to say, you know what, caution to the wind. We're not going to get up there. We got to fight it out for position here and get as many points as we can. It all depends on the circumstances that you're facing as a driver at what point of the racetrack.
And again, we have the entire field separated in a pack. In what we had talked about, the interval is almost top 5 right with each other. of 4-car packs, 7 seconds in the top 10. Then you look back to 9th on to 12th, 30-plus seconds back. You've got 4 cars, 1 lap down in Tatum, Helms, Hardison, and Gardner. Ely is 2 laps down. Peterson, who at one point had a really strong run going for him, is currently 3 laps down as they get ready to cross the start-finish line, approaching these final 30 laps of racing with Sherwood in that pack. Sherwood pulling away from Terry and Grant. And there's that pack of cars, 1, 2, and 3, single file, down to the inside, no one breaking out of line. And Greg, this is what I feared we did not need to see happen, because it is literally separated the entire pack around the great Talladega Superspeedway with under 30 laps to go.
And it's all about pit strategy, and we still have one more pit stop, possibly 2 coming up here. The drivers still have 2 sets of tires left on pit road. I think we're going to see 2 more pit stops at minimum here for the end of this one, as we have 29 laps to go. I think we're going to see 2 more here. The way this race has gone, as you see it starting to heat up front here, as Massey is now hooked up with Altus, as Grant has gone with Sherwood. That's interesting that the MP Motorsports teammates and the High Five teammates didn't hook up there. They had 1 of each in the group right there. It settles down for now, but that was kind of interesting that Massey didn't go with his teammate there.
As they cross the stripe, the laps continue to tick away. Coming up on under 30 laps to go now for the SNB Cup Series. Race number 14 on the season. Race number 2 in the playoffs. Last week, Watkins Glen, the road course. Braxton DeWeese, who won Indianapolis. He won that event. He's trying to go for now 3 in a row for his 5 wins on the season in the playoffs. But not tonight. He is all the way back, mired in the top 10. There's that car, along with the 19 of Stooksbury. And they've been playing this game of cat and mouse all night long, Greg, since the drop of the green flag. But anyhow, he's going to hopefully salvage a good points day, as right now he leads with a 15-point lead over Spencer Hardison, who is all the way back in 15th. Caleb Smith, the number 3 seed in the points. He's decent right now. Of all those drivers I mentioned, currently in 6th. And he's tied with Joshua Altus, who is right in front of him in 3rd. And while that goes on, Stooksbury and DeWeese continue to play this battle of wits down the super stretch to the back straightaway, going to turn number 3. 26 laps to go here at Talladega.
Here's the thing about Caleb Smith, Wesley. You mentioned him sitting 3rd in points, 6th on the track. He's leading that 3-car tandem there of the CEM drivers, his teammates Coleman and Dyer behind him. They're jockeying for position up at the front. That's allowing these 3 drivers to chip away at the lead. Nice move here by Smith. Look what he's doing here as they go through turn 3 and 4, allowing Coleman to get the lead up front to settle it down. Pit stops. Here we go.
Green flag pit stops. Greg, could this be the money stop?
No,
I don't think it is. They're going to have to pit again with under 10 to go.
Yeah, we still have 1 more. We're going to have to pit with 10 laps to go here in this one. Not the money stop yet. The pit road is a busy place.
Pit stops underway.
If this race stays green, we're going to see these guys come in for their final stop with 10 laps to go.
Wow. And they are going to have to pit again. Do not call this the money stop, because it is not. You got to make sure, though, Greg, you don't make any mistakes here. You got to hit your marks right. Here comes all those drivers that were in that pack. They're coming to pit road too. Coleman now the leader in 51. Dyer in 2nd. Smith 3rd. Oh. Greg, it looks like we're
Something
literally
happened to Dyer. Something happened to Matt Dyer.
Uh-oh.
Matt Dyer's off the pace.
Did he run out of fuel? Do you think he ran out of fuel, Greg?
I'm wondering if he blew up or be out of fuel. One or the other. Something went wrong with the 88.
Could he trigger a caution flag?
Not right now. He's under the yellow line. If he's under that yellow line, which he is right now, he's good.
Oh, but that's a long way back to pit road. That's a long way back to pit road if he has ran out of fuel. The road gain, number 88 of Matt Dyer, the man out of California. Tight in, loose off replay. For more details, go to youtube.com and check out their information on their shows weekly. And let's see what happened.
Watch here.
Greg, did I see any smoke?
We're going to see right here. I didn't see any smoke when I saw this happen, so I think he ran out of fuel, but watch. You're going to see him go to the outside here. I thought they were just doing a position swap, and right there, oh, there it is. Yeah, the blow up right there. Just that puff of smoke. Matt Dyer losing the motor on the 88. And he has coasted to a stop in turn 3. Not going to make it back.
What a tough break. And now Coleman, the Rowdy Energy number 51, along with Smith coming to pit road. Here we go. He let Smith pass him.
Saw that on that round of pit stops, and unfortunately, looks like Dyer's night is done as he is called the tow truck back to pit road. So this big pack here going through turn number 3 right now is now the battle for the race lead as Coleman comes into his pit stall. That's going to be your net race leader right there as they come back to the line. Keenan Massey in the number 4 going to lead the way. Altus, Terry and company there as well. A couple drivers that are a lap down up in this mix as well. Got Gardner and Hardison and Ely all laps down. Grant to the lead now in the number 52. Gets the lead, but here comes Altus with a peek to the inside, but Jacob Grant wants this win. He wants this win, and he's going for it now as Altus again blinks.
And that's not good for Altus, man. Don't want to see that happen to him.
Cody Terry, 3 wide outside. Not this time. Christian Gardner now blinking as well in the 7, but Altus gets the lead back now into number 94. Gloves are off now, Wesley. I don't think you're going to see much more cooperation out of these guys. I think it's time to find who you want to go with and go for it there, Terry.
Wow. Woo. Tewksbury. Holy cow. Talk about no more friends.
Yeah, it is go time now. Now here's my question. I'm looking for Deweese and Tatum hooked up as Tewksbury is back here with Packard and Gilliams. Again, still about 40 seconds left. They have tried as hard as they can to get back into this, but unfortunately they're going to need a caution to get themselves back into it. Zach Peterson, by the way, loaded it up on the Holler, has called it a night and is watching the rest of this race from the pits. Zach Peterson's night done into number 96. He's going to be credited with an 18th place finish here. Things settling down up at the front for now, but not much longer as here comes MP Motorsports back on the inside of the high five, guys.
Boy, this has got interesting. As Massey now the leader in the number 4 machine. Grant in second spot, Altus third. Sherwood and Terry top 5. Off of 2 to the back straightaway. Closing in on 20 laps to go. This race about to get good here. Katie, bar the door. And remember, they still have to pit within the next 12 laps or so. And Greg, only one caution flag to stop this race. That multi-car accident with the pack in the draft through the tri-oval off 4. And that's been it. And that was in the opening 20 laps.
So this has been an awesome run for these guys. And it hasn't exactly been, I would say, per se, boring, because these guys have been jockeying for position for most of the race. It hasn't been a single file line. No, these guys have been trading the lead back and forth. They've just been doing it so respectfully and so patiently with each other that it's worked out with each other, and it's been a lot of fun to watch it unfold.
But the question is we are at 20 laps to go. Greg, when do they make their move? Friends become enemies. Allies become foes.
You want to make your move right off of pit road on the next lap. I think if you're in this lead pack right now, you can afford to hang back and just be at the tail end of it until that last round of pit stops, which we're expecting in about 10 laps or so. But once you're down pit road, once you come off pit road that last time in 10 laps, go time.
We'll see.
Our production team saying, don't be surprised.
Early pit stops.
We see some guys short pit here. They're about 3 laps away from opening that window of being able to make it on the end. Do you think that's a good, or do you think that call could work here, or is that too much of a risk, Wesley?
I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll have to see. Our producer thinking they're going to come to the pits early. Under 20 laps to go. Here's what we're going to do. Final commercial break. One more commercial. We have to thank our sponsors. When we come back, Greg and myself will take you to the finish here at Talladega, which includes the money pit stops and the strategy of who will play their cards to victory in race 2 of the playoffs, round 14 of the SNB Cup Series. More of the Bone Collector 250 in the finish when we return from Talladega on LSR TV.
BB Squared from Big and J Long Range Attractants. BB Squared is an 18% protein. It's got your crude fat and your vitamins and your minerals that deer absolutely need for nutrition. It's got a powerful aroma that draws deer from far and wide. Put it in front of your trail camera, put it in front of your stand. Ultimately, BB Squared will increase your success rate out in the woods. BB Squared from Big and J Long Range Attractants.
Told you it wouldn't last long, 30 seconds, and now we're ready for the finish. Charles Wooten doing a phenomenal job in the production chair for Live Sim Racing. By the way, also, Commander-in-Chief, along with Charles Wooten, we're excited to have this opportunity to have Greg Wrench joining me in this broadcast. Greg, we have seen some exciting racing throughout the SNB Cup Series alongside For the Ride. This is just an awesome event we're seeing here with these drivers putting on the show in what is 4 unique races for the playoffs. No eliminations, no round of 8, no championship 4. 4 races, 4 unique opportunities. You accumulate points, champion at the end. And now we see Deweese trying to climb the ladder in 8th as this race is under 15 laps to go.
Deweese is going to need a caution, though. I don't think he's got enough here to get up to the front. He's going to need a caution, or he's going to need to try something bold on pit road. Hooked up with Tatum, Packard, Stooksbury, and Gilliams right now in line. Tatum's still a lap down. Tatum's been pinned a lap down this entire race since that green, or that caution back around lap 20. So he's been hoping for a caution. Every time a car has gone a lap down, Tatum's had to fight his way around it. Man, I just don't know about this.
And our producer, Charles, thinks they're going to pit early. He's thinking they're going to pit early. Well, you know what, Charles, my man? They've got less than 5 laps before the window opens. Wow.
Here they come.
He was right. Here they come.
DM coming down pit road for their final stop. Short pit. We are just now in the window.
This is Smith on the pit lane. Now, here's the thing, Greg. If we have a caution and this race gets extended, my goodness, are they going to have enough fuel to go into overtime?
They should. They should. I think they're 3 laps to the good. We've seen them go 17 laps. There's 14 to go. I think they're okay. Laps winding down. Altus leads. Cody Terry still up at the front. Can Cody Terry steal this victory here as we watch Coleman in that number 51? There's the lead pack right there. Altus, Terry, and Sherwood, your top three right now for MP Motorsports before you find the high five guys of Grant and Massey. Top five all in this group. 5 cars in this group are for position. Rest of them just trying to tag on and try to be there at the end. I think you're going to see the high five guys come down. Here they come.
Yep, here comes that pack onto the pit lane. And that's what I'm talking about. Teammates and partners, friends coming, allies coming to the pits.
You're going to see that second group come down also. Deweese and company. You're going to see them come down this time as well. They're in turn 3 right now.
Oh!
Massey blew his pit stall.
Massey overshot his pit stall. You can't make that mistake. And there's Deweese and Tatum. Tewksbury.
Now here
Packer.
they come.
Here they come. Slow down, guys. Back her down. Back her down.
Oh, they got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Here we go.
Got to make sure you don't get busted for a penalty. We know Tewksbury and Deweese got a penalty earlier.
That's what ultimately put them in this position where they've been having to play catch up the whole time.
That's right.
Meanwhile, the rest of the gang's still out there. They're going an extra lap here. They're trying to ensure that they can make it.
The money stop underway. And Greg, while that goes on, there's Altus. I have to say again, Joshua Altus from the Commonwealth of Virginia. He has snuck his nose back to the lead at a super speedway event. He won Daytona when the season started back in November.
That because I think they're coming this time.
Coming up on 10 laps to go this time by. They're not going to pull out yet.
I think something happened. Did something happen to Keenan Massey or Jacob Grant? I think something happened to Jacob Grant on pit road because he has way lost touch with his teammate Keenan Massey. I think something happened to Grant on pit road.
He's fell back to 4th. There he is.
Massey is almost a lap behind him. I'm wondering if it was Massey who had the problem on pit road. Oh, no. Massey blew through his pit stall. That's right.
Massey went through the pit stall. You're exactly right. We're going to wonder what happened to Grant.
Has no drafting help right now in the 52.
And that's what we were talking about. He is a sitting duck. He
and meanwhile,
can't catch them, but they can run him down and fly by him like a lost cause, Greg, and I think they're going to do that.
Remember, they still have to pit up front here in this one. They are too far back right now to be able to catch him before they would have to pit. I've been anticipating seeing them come in for about 3 laps now. They haven't yet. This pack right here on screen. The leader is that inside line, Altus, the 94 Vortex Optic Chevy. Cody Terry behind him. Too far back to be able to lap Grant this time. But Grant's going to have his work cut out for him because now he's got no drafting help whatsoever.
Under 10 to go, 9 remaining. Coming to 8 laps to go at the stripe.
When do you pit if you're in this group? Do you pit this time? Do you try to stretch it longer? They're coming.
Here they come. You called it, Greg. Altus on the binders, Tewksbury and all them, Sherwood, all coming in. And Greg, this is going to give Cody Terry the lead, but he comes to the pits as well.
And Jacob
Cycle
Grant,
it back around. Go ahead.
Jacob Grant has drafting help. He has picked up the help of the CEM guys, so he's going to tag the caboose with CEM. Grant has the help he needs.
There you go. A little assist there. He's hooked up with Caleb Smith.
Now the question
Smith
is,
and Grant.
They're rolling off pit road now, so as they're coming through the tri-oval. They're coming to the tri-oval. I think they're going to catch him. If they don't catch him, or if they don't pass him, I think they're at least going to catch him here.
That's right. They got to get
here they
back.
Come. This is what those guys needed
remember,
right here.
Line, to stay below the blend line.
And this is what the CEM guys needed. They needed to try to catch him. Oh, it's going to be close. I don't know if they're going to be able to get him or not. These guys have to get together, and they have to get together in a hurry. These guys are already up to speed. It's going to be close. Can they get to him? No, not like that. Dyer with that backup motor in 3 laps down. They're jockeying for position, but I don't think they have enough time to do that. I think they got to go for it. Coleman's going to tag on.
They got to hook up in a tandem. They got to hook up in a tandem draft single file and roar after that pack right there.
See what the gap is at the line.
Off pit road.
1 second.
6, 7 to go. 7 to go here at Talladega.
1 second between them. Oh, here they come. They've got him.
Greg.
They've got him, Wesley. They're going to catch him.
Oh, man. Yeah, they are.
Go.
And here's the thing.
This is picked up.
Yes. And this now here's the thing. I think we're going to start seeing some blocking. The time has come where some drivers are going to start doing some blocks. They're going to make some evasive moves to stay out in front. Especially for Rob Sherwood.
Sherwood leading the way. That second group has caught them. So here we go. Top 3 are for position. Dyer a lap down, leading that second group. Smith, Brandt, and Coleman are for position as well. Here we go. Outside lane picking up. It's on. 6 laps to go. Remember, position cars. First 3 on the bottom line. Then Smith, Grant, and Coleman there. Dyer and Gardner are laps down, but hooked up in the draft as they catch up to more traffic.
And you got drivers like Sherwood and Terry, and even Altus that have not won in a while. They want to win. Well, obviously, Sherwood's won a race, just barely. It's been a pretty dismal roller coaster ride for him. Can't even imagine what's going through the mind of Cody Terry right now in the 22 car, as he's in the number 2 position. Right nip tuck with Sherwood. They come to the line. Your flagman, Barney, will show them the open hand. 5 laps to go. This is Talladega. Greg Rentz, 8 cars. It's about to heat up in 1.
Here we go. 8 cars. 6 of them are for position. Remember, Dyer, who's leading that outside lane, and Gardner, who's last in line on the bottom. They are not for position. They are battling it out, trying to hold on and be in this draft. Gardner is a lap ahead of Dyer, so that is not a position battle at all. They're just trying to hold on and help out however they can their respective teams. Oh, here we go.
Oh, trouble in the wall.
That was Altus.
No caution
yet. No caution yet.
Wow, that was Altus in the wall. And he got tagged by Coleman. He spins, and there's the
caution's
caution
out.
flag.
This is going to change everything.
Wow, there's the caution. Oh, my goodness. Business has picked up, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your replay.
Right there, the inside line just fans out. They get a little too close together. Coleman, the big loser in that one as well. No caution until right here. Right there, that hit finished it off. Caleb Smith is your race leader at this caution.
Wow. Do you pit, Greg? Do you pit with 4 to go? I believe you got to keep what you've got.
You got to go for it. You're out of tires. The only thing you're going to do on pit road is lose track position. You're good on fuel. You're out of tires. As far as we are aware, that is, I think you stay out.
Under caution, quick break to pay some bills. The Bone Collector 250, the Bone Collector 250 finish when we return from Talladega, LSR TV.
I promise to follow through.
I promise to repair or replace your product.
I promise to get your optics back to you as soon as possible.
A promise is the foundation of our business. We call it the VIP warranty, the very important promise. It's unlimited, unconditional, and lifetime. No matter what the problem is, no matter how the problem occurred, no matter how old the product is, if it says Vortex Optics on it, we will repair or replace your product at no cost to you. Maybe it was an accident, maybe it was your fault, or even your dog's. No matter what happens, we've got you covered.
It's simple. There's no product registration, no receipts to hang on to. Just grab a box, fill out a form, ship us your product. No hassle, no questions asked.
We stand behind the quality and performance of our products, and our commitment to you extends far beyond the initial purchase. I promise.
Back here at Talladega. Greg Rentz, Wesley Outland, Bone Collector, 250. The question is, we're not going to be collecting bones. We're going to be collecting sheet metal as we get ready for overtime number 1. Greg, I think they get 2 overtimes. Am I correct? Let's give them the rules of overtime.
3 overtime finish.
3 attempts.
3 overtime attempts. So here's how we do it. We're going to drop the green flag on this first attempt of a green-white checkered finish. If we make it back to the white flag, that's it. We're going to have the next flag and the race. If we do not make it back to the white flag, remember, they have to cross the line. It's not whether or not the white flag is displayed, it's whether they cross the line. If they do not cross the line before a caution is thrown, then we're going to try it again. And then if that happens again, we'll try it a third time. If we get to that third overtime attempt, you're going to drop the green flag and the next flag's going to end the race. So, with that said, it's been a very clean race thus far. Only 2 incidents here, but it's green-white checker time. This is a playoff race. All chips are down on the table right now. We're going to see some crazy moves. Wesley?
And Greg, I think I'm having deja vu here. But wasn't this the race back earlier in the year where 3 teammates were all bunched up together and the one guy pushed the other guy around for the win, and the other guy wasn't kind of too happy about that because he thought he was going to go with him instead? I think it was.
Like that. Something like that.
Wasn't it Gilliams that won Talladega?
This is our first trip to Talladega this year. Gilliams won Talladega last year, but we didn't broadcast that race on LSR TV.
Okay,
we had Daytona, and we had the crazy finish at Daytona.
No, that's not it. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
We'll figure it out.
I'm hashtag fake news. Here we go. Let's go back for the restart. Ladies and gentlemen, overtime number 1, as Greg said, if they take the white, race is official. If not, we go again. Green is out. Back to it again.
Oh, that was a bad start.
Boy, Robert Sherwood, he's
got
hungry.
A huge lead. Sherwood got a huge lead, and unfortunately, he's going to be a sitting duck here for the high five guys right here.
So here's the problem.
DeWeese.
That's right.
DeWeese.
So here's the problem. And as Greg reiterated on, he put himself as a sitting duck as you see him getting past. Here's the problem. He made a mistake by literally pulling away from the pack, and he had a great restart. But the problem is, at the end of it all, they were able to reel him back in. He got so far ahead, they reeled him back in. And here we come to the line.
Jacob Grant has the lead as we come to the tri-oval. If we get to the line, this race is official. Through the tri-oval, they're all jockeying. Here we go. White flags here, one to go. We got it. We have a race.
Race is official. Race is official. This is it.
Deweese
DRN. DRN, one to go. Oh, look at Grant.
Braxton Deweese to the lead. He's got it off of turn number 2, down the backstretch. What does Grant have left on the outside? Stooksbury all by himself on the outside. Up in the mix includes Sherwood, Packard, Coleman up there as well. Stooksbury and Dyer get together. Around goes Stooksbury. We stay green. It's all on for the money now. More contact back there. This is going to be between Deweese and Grant. Here we go. Side by side. Smith down to the bottom.
3 wide. They're going to go 3 wide below the grass. Can he get him? 4 wide. 4 wide. They're wrecking. Flipping through the air. I think Grant has won the race.
Matthew Gilliams.
No, it's Gilliams again.
Matthew Gilliams got it. He got through the wreck. We had to go back to scoring, and Gilliams, his 2nd win of the season.
Out of nowhere, Matthew Gilliams is there and wins here at Talladega. Are you kidding me? Look at this.
Let's take a look at the replay.
4 and 5 wide.
Watch Gilliams, right there. That's what won it right there.
And they're flipping, crashing.
And pick it up. They were flipping across the line. Smith was upside down, and Gilliams just barely got through that for the win.
Oh my goodness. Holy cow.
Matthew Gilliams' 2nd win of the season. Caleb Smith comes home 2nd, and Josh Altus recovers for 3rd.
Wow.
Matthew Gilliams, back-to-back wins at Talladega. Still the only driver to win an SNB Cup Series race at Talladega. And he is going to celebrate in style here on the front stretch. 2nd win of the season. Matthew Gilliams. And it is on in pit road.
Celebration for Matthew Gilliams. What a finish. Holy cow. As he burns it down at Victory Lane at Talladega, we get ready for the sawblade.com finishing results. Man. Matthew Gilliams is the winner. Caleb Smith, 74 thousandths of a second in 2nd. Joshua Altus, 3rd, coming up short, along with Evan Coleman, Braxton Deweese, Jacob Grant, Keenan Massey, Brockton Packard, Rob Sherwood. They're all crashing at the finish. Tyler Stooksbury also crashed. He'll finish in the top 10.
Coming home in the 11th spot. Again, this is all unofficial. Ross Tatum in the number 1. Ross the Boss comes home 11th after not being able to recover after getting pinned a lap down early. Robbie Helms and Matt Dyer, 12th and 13th, 2 laps down. Christian Gardner, Spencer Hardison, Jack Ely, Cody Terry, Zach Peterson round out this 18-car field. And wow, what a finish here, Wesley.
Charles, can we see the finish? Can we see the finish one more time? Can we sit down and strap in and go back to a tied in loose off instant replay? I guess they're saying no, we can't. The production truck has already got the feed. You better just go ahead and on the Facebook and YouTube broadcast for LSR TV, put that sucker at rewind. Holy cow. When it's said and done, Matthew Gilliams, the winner here at Talladega. A great race in the Bone Collector 250. A wild overtime finish. One time, one take. When it's said and done, Matthew Gilliams is the winner. Quick break, and we will talk to the top 3 here at Talladega, the SNB Cup Series, in a moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm understanding back here at Talladega, they are reviewing the finish. The race finish currently is unofficial. We kept saying that it's unofficial. Greg, right now, the series officials of the SNB Cup Series iRacing League are currently reviewing the finish of the race.
Boy, this brings back memories of Daytona, Wesley. We had the lengthy review that lasted about 10-15 minutes here at Daytona. So, under review again here, waiting for a word on officials. Again, what we just saw was crazy. Now, we're going to see what happens at the end here. Finish, again, under review.
They are saying that Caleb Smith, unofficially under review with the series, is saying he might be finishing in the top 10, possibly 9th, the 12 of Caleb Smith. So we are hearing now that it is the number 28 of Gilliams, the 15 of DeWeese, the 94 of Altus, 1, 2, and 3. Now, again, this is unofficial, but this is what we're hearing right now, Greg.
Unofficial finishes under review. Current as it stands is Gilliams in the 28 is the winner. Joshua Altus has been moved into the second place unofficially, which would move Braxton DeWeese into the third spot here. So, again, still under review, and it sounds like that is what it's going to be here at the end. Sounds like the 51 and the 12. It sounds to me, Wesley, based off what we're seeing with the discussion right now, it almost sounds like a tap-out rule type situation like we see in the Northwest Tour. Sounds like that's what it's going on here. Based off what I'm hearing in the conversation, not sure if that is indeed the case, but it sounds like it's kind of a tap-out rule type situation on the part of Smith and Coleman, from what it sounds like. I may be looking into this wrong, but that's how it's looking to me.
There is a big powwow going on inside the race official chat right now for the SNB Cup Series iRacing League, and they are discussing and looking at disputable evidence via video from different camera angles to make their final assumptions or make it unofficial be official for this event. But right now, suffice to say, Greg, Matthew Gilliams, he's not under any type of protest. We saw the replay in the tight end loose off replay. Stayed out of trouble when the chaos happened. 28 crossed the line first for his second Talladega win.
Williams has the win regardless, and it sounds like that is indeed what we're going to go with. It's going to be the 28 of Gilliams getting the win, Altus in second, and Deweese in third. As it's a tap out type situation on the part of Coleman and Smith going for the victory. Just got a little bit too deep. Now, we mentioned tap out rule. That's something we see in the Northwest Tour. If you guys haven't seen the Northwest Tour race here on LSR TV, what that Super Late Model Series has is it's called a tap out rule, where if a driver causes a caution, if they tap out, they receive an EOL, but no further penalties. It's a self-policing type situation, and it sounds like that's what we are seeing right now. It looks like that is the official word. It is Gilliams, Altus, DeWeese. We're bringing them in now for a conversation, and it looks like we have the three of them. Wesley, I believe, is now going to go catch up. We're going to start off the third place unofficially, Braxton DeWeese.
We are. Braxton DeWeese was looking for his fifth win, third in a row. Had a penalty earlier in the race, redeems himself and finishes on the podium. Caught up in that accident for high five. Braxton, you survived Talladega with a podium finish in third. What's your take of the finish?
Disappointing. Very disappointing. Either me or Jacob should have got the win. We were going to be 1-2 there. I felt like I was really going to get the win there. I didn't really expect him to go below the yellow, since in the rule book it says that you cannot go below the yellow line to advance your position. So I'm not sure why he went down there. He said he was going for a win, but it's illegal. So that's all I really have to say about that.
And there's no dispute about that. I mean, we saw the replay. Y'all were 3 wide, 4 wide, and cars were below the yellow line. If you are following per the NASCAR rule book, Daytona's next week, Tuesday, with the Busch Clash and the 500 on Sunday. You cannot advance your position going below the yellow line. So you feel like that this finish should still be unofficial and there should be some more positions taken away. Am I thinking, Braxton?
Yeah, you're correct. I hate the whole yellow line dispute. For the people that say to get rid of it, I mean, that's what's going to happen if you get rid of it. So, I mean, if you wouldn't have gone below the yellow line there and would have went by the rules, I felt like we had it would have been a really good finish there, instead of seeing the 4 cars that were going for the win 4 wide all wreck because someone went down below the yellow. But it is what it is. We'll move on next week, see what we can do at Bristol.
Ed, Greg, I'm sorry I asked an extra question.
Oh, it's all good. Braxton, let's talk about the overall fight after having the penalty there on pit road on that first batch of pit stops. You and Tyler Stooksbury in the same boat there. Tell us about trying to chip back through that entire long green flag run. Seemed like every single time we checked in, you had chipped off another second or two, but it was going to come down ultimately that you needed the caution. You got the caution at the end. Tell us about that fight back throughout the course of the day.
Yeah, me and Stooks really were trying to work together as much as we could, so we couldn't go a lap down there. That really would have just screwed everything if we would have went a lap down. So we tried to stay on the lead lap as much as possible. Yeah, we were just hoping for a caution there. We got that caution. I felt like we were executing it greatly, but y'all saw the result.
Brian, let me let you thank your sponsors, bud, and we'll let you get out of here, man.
Yep, I want to thank the family, friends, supporters for all tuning in tonight. I want to thank Bennett's Publical for coming on board tonight, being the main sponsor. We were having a good run for them there. I wish we would have had a better finish, but we want to give a shout out also to Zimmerman Concrete, Ron's Pizza, Ravenwood Enterprise, Scott Martin at Jeff Schmidt, and NASCAR Technical Institute, Blaze Designs for the beautiful looking Bennett's Publical 15 tonight, and I'd like to thank High Five Race for letting me drive the 15, and you guys for doing a great job every week.
Thank you, Braxton. I appreciate it, bud. And you can tell he's a little bit perturbed, disturbed, frustrated. That's Braxton Luis, but he'll go on to the next one. Let's go to the runner-up of the race now, and we'll get his thoughts. That's Joshua Altus in the 94 machine from Virginia for MP Motorsports. The Daytona winner, now involved in another crazy controversial finish. Joshua, what's your take of the finish and the race in general? Joshua Altus, do you have a copy?
We just lost Altus for a moment.
Okay, we will stand by and try to grab Josh here in a moment.
Hey, sorry,
Josh, are you back with me?
You got me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Awesome. Hey, yeah, man, crazy race. I hate that we had another crazy finish, man, but that's what happens at these restrictor plates. It seems like every time coming down to the end of it, everyone is hungry for a win and everyone's doing all they can. So, I mean, just to start the race, I got to give a huge shout out to my MP Motorsports teammates. Me and Cody Terry and Robert Sherwood specifically worked really well together all race, and I feel like we were perfect right where we needed to be. We were right in position to get the win and duke it out amongst ourselves. And with about 5 laps to go, Cody Terry blew up in front of me, had nowhere to go, and we all wrecked together. And then had to come in and take a fast repair, and my emotions are so up and down because I feel like we could have and should have won the race, but then I restarted 11th on that last restart and ended up P2, so I guess you got to be happy about that.
Well, Josh, we talked a moment there about just the finish there. I want to ask you about that save that you had on that very first caution. If you recall, you were caught up there in the initial contact. We saw the wreck break out, but then there was more contact after the fact. And you made probably one of the best saves of the season. I would rank it up there with Brockton Packard's save at Indy a couple of weeks ago. What went through your mind there when you were making that save after the caution had already come out early in the race?
Yeah, my first thought was why the 12 ran into me after the caution came out. I'll admit I was driving pretty aggressively early. Everyone knows I've had this race circled on my calendar, and I've had a really rough week personally this week with some personal stuff going on. So I just had a lot of motivation to come out and win this race, and I wasn't going to shy away from it. So I messed up in qualifying, got an unsafe blend line violation, so that killed my first lap and ended up starting in the rear. So I was hungry to get to the front early, made some bold moves, and I threw a block on Caleb, and I guess he was not happy about that, so he decided to run into me once the caution came out. So thankful we were able to save it. Shout out to Kyle Lockrow again for spotting me today. Helped me get through a lot of stuff there, and I'm disappointed we didn't get the win, but again, I'm happy that we were still be able to come away with the podium finish. But man, we're so close, man. Every single week, I feel like we're so close. We just can't quite get over that hump. So we'll try it again at Bristol next week.
So Josh, well, next week we're off, and then we come back for Bristol in 2 weeks, because I know a lot of people are going to be down in Daytona. But Joshua, a segue question into also mentioning your sponsors in closing too. Do you think that the review board needs to look at possibly more penalties, maybe some DQs from this race? Could there be some further from that? And do you think that maybe the yellow line rule might need to be disallowed here to the last lap?
So that's a good two-part question there, Wesley. I'll answer it in two parts. So myself and a couple of these guys are some of the admins in here, so we circled up real quick. So I'll read you guys off the running order, what we determined there. So let me pull up my notes. So Matthew Williams got the win in the 28, myself 94 in second, DeWeese in third, Jacob Grant fourth, Keenan Massey fifth, Broughton Packard sixth, Rob Shearwood seventh, and then the two black flags went to the 12 car of Caleb Smith and the 51 of Evan Coleman for going below the yellow line. So that's the first part. Hopefully that clears up a little confusion. My second part, I don't think we need to get rid of it, Wesley. These guys know the rules. It's like that in real life. The yellow line at these super speedways are out of bounds. These guys know that. So you cannot go below the yellow line and advance your position unless, of course, you're missing a wreck or something like that. So the 12 and the 51 both went below the yellow line when they were trying to make a pass. All the cars wrecked, and that's what happened. So that's why those two cars got a penalty, and they'll finish the last two cars on the lead lap. But that's my admin hat, and I'll put my driver hat back on real quick. I got to thank Vortex Optics for being on board during these playoffs. Of course, Christian Gardner and Appalachian Holler Hunters for everything he does to sponsor our series. Again, a shout out to Tyler Stutesbury and Tight End Loose Off, his YouTube channel. You guys go check it out. The Shake and Bake Cup Series is so much fun to run, and you guys go check out Appalachian Holler Hunters on their YouTube page. They just dropped a new video today as well. So I'm sorry that we had another controversial finish, but that's just how it is at these plate tracks. Hope everyone enjoyed the show, and we'll go on to Bristol in 2 weeks.
All right, that's Joshua Altus. And by the way, bud, safe travels down to Daytona. Maybe I'll run into you in the garage area.
10-4, thanks, buddy.
That is the driver, the 94, Joshua Altus, says he'll finish in the number 2 spot, giving his thoughts of the finish. And finally, the victory lane we go. Winner here at Talladega, season 1, season 2. Second win on the season this year. The driver, the number 28, Matthew Gilliams. Matthew, you know what? I can't say right place, right time, but I have to. But I also have to add that you had an impressive race today. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it was going pretty smoothly there on that first run, and then obviously we had a little hiccup with a run-in with Robbie Helms on pit road, and I hate that for him especially because I know he had a good car and he was running with us, and we had a good strategy sorted out the entire time, and wish I could have been along with my teammates running that the entire time. I thought it was going to work to perfection had we not had that last caution, and I really hate it for those guys. But we just tried to stay on the lead lap, and I was trying to piggyback off what my teammates were saying and stay out there. And we hooked up with Braxton and Stooksbury and Brockton, some of those guys, and we're luckily able to just hang on to the lead lap, and just fortunate enough to have an opportunity there at the end.
Matt, being there at the end proved to be the key here to this one. Getting through that accident, two-part question is, one, how was it getting through that incident? Tell us about your moves trying to get through that last lap. And two, at what point were you aware that you had crossed the line first and you had gotten the victory?
So for that first part, I saw Robbie kind of get hooked there by Brockton. He started going low, and I figured, I saw a tiny little gap there in between those two lanes, so I figured I'd just shoot for it, and I kept my foot on the throttle as best I could, and, luckily I think I kind of got sandwiched in between two cars, so I was able to help keep me straight, and then, as we're heading to the line, I started seeing them all drop below the yellow, and I'm thinking, I don't know what in the world everybody's doing, but, I'm just going to try and get to the line here, and, it feels like almost an identical situation to last year with how we finished, but it took until probably around the back straightaway to finally figure out I had won. But even then, I wasn't too excited just because, it's not the way we want to win. I know it, presents an exciting finish for everybody watching, and, we appreciate everybody watching. But, considering some of the bad luck we've had earlier this year, I'll certainly take it. But still, it comes with a grain of salt as well.
So my question is this, Matthew, and this is only for you as a driver, and then you can also thank your sponsors too. Do you feel that this yellow line rule needs to be reviewed? And do you feel like if there was a penalty that you think drivers should get penalized from it, and also thank your sponsors?
Absolutely. I think, it's difficult to say one way or the other whether we need to change it or not. Like Josh said, it is out of bounds, and for right now, that's the rule. So, I think everybody just needs to abide by that a little bit better. I totally get everybody's hungry, especially in a restrictor plate race like this, that, everybody's got a shot to win if you can get down to the last lap. And, I applaud their aggressiveness to at least, try and put on an exciting finish, but you still got to be smart at the same time. We'll see how that goes down the road, but definitely got to thank Appalachian Holler Hunters for not only sponsoring the series, but coming on board with us, as well as Cody Terry and all of our other sponsors that help us out, and Christian Gardner for everything that he does for the series. And, of course, got to thank you guys for everything that you do and helping us out. And, we appreciate everything.
Well, congratulations to you, Matthew Gilliams, winner here tonight of the Bone Collector 250 here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Okay, I got to go. I'm at a B&B. There's about 10 people waiting on me to come inside to cut off the lights so we can go to bed. It's been a long day for me, driving all the way down to Florida. Greg, your final thoughts here at Talladega. I'll give you 30 seconds, your thoughts on the yellow line, and we are going to wrap it up here. A crazy finish at Talladega today.
Well, it all comes down to what we see in the league. So definitely an interesting finish. Looking forward to the fallout to see what happens next. By the way, next week is Bristol, baby.
In 2 weeks, by the way. We're off next week. We're off
Correct.
Next Wednesday for the SNB Cup Series. We will be back on Wednesday night, and that will be on, I believe, the 19th, I think it is, the 18th, 17th. The 17th, actually, is when it will be. The 17th, we will be back in action for the SNB Cup Series at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I think there's going to be something coming from this yellow line finish. But when it's all said and done, Matthew Gilliams is the winner here at the Talladega Superspeedway. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage on LSR TV. As always, check out livesimracingtv.com, at LSR TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And Safe Travel Cup Series, a lot of our part of NASCAR teams coming down to the World Center of Racing, where I'm already at here in Florida. I'll be there on Tuesday for the Busch Clash. Anyhow, for everybody here, for Charles Wooten, Craig Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland. A wild finish, controversial race at Talladega. When it's said and done, Matthew Gilliams, winner of the Bone Collector 250 for the playoff round 2 of the SNB Cup Series. Have a great week off. Enjoy the Daytona 500 and the Super Bowl. We'll